Well, two people got the memo. Three people got the memo.
How long was your power out?
Like 9 to 2-ish.
Yeah, same.
Did you have an overnight outage as well?
No, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Then it came on in the morning. I went to work and then it went out again.
Did it get cold at night where you were?
No, it was fine.
But we did get a little snow.
Yes.
A little snow in the corners.
Melanie, you didn't have a night outage, did you? Just daytime?
No, I did have one at night.
Oh, you did too.
Mhm.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, if it happened at 2 in the morning, I wouldn't know.
Flux.
Fair.
Flux.
Oh,
Digital.
flux.
Your
Digital.
oven clock would tell you.
Oh, right. The clocks would be blinking.
Yep. Good minutes, Joy. You ended up drawing a long, complicated meeting.
Oh, thank you, because I was very stressed typing them up.
No, you did a great job. And I was thinking, oh, here she was thinking, and then it ended up being super complicated. So good job.
Oh, thank you.
I agree, they were really well written.
Thanks. So I will put the times in them. Those are the only two things I didn't have to do, and then
Yeah,
I didn't have, right? And
yeah, I sent a little note out about it, and then my bad. I have to check on whether or not we have our official updated stationery
oh, okay.
yet, and then I'll just make sure they get put on the stationery, and then I'll have Diane Dunphy post them for me. I'm not going to try to do that. So once we
That
approve
works
them,
for me.
I'll email Diane about stationery.
Yeah. Do we have electronic stationery or real stationery or both?
We're supposed to have both,
Oh, wow. Okay.
but with all of our names on it, not just the, remember?
Not just the important ones.
They're all important, damn it. Speaking of which, I think we have a quorum here. So, well, first of all, it is what time? It is 6:33 on Thursday evening. We have a quorum. So present from the Finance Committee is Bob Vanderslice, Barbara Beatty, Melanie. Look, you're in third position tonight, not last. Deborah Warren, Joy, Dan McMacken. Oh, and Tim. Tim is in last place tonight.
Woo-hoo.
And then we're joined by Sheila, the town assessor, and also Allison. Hi, Allison and Sheila. So we are in, the meeting is in order. So tonight is, I guess, two basic topics. One, the assessors and the assessors budget. Sheila, are you expecting anyone else to join you?
I actually thought,
Got a
David,
helicopter.
Hunt, chairman of the Board of Assessors, was going to be here. We were hoping, Tony and Allison is here, so that's good. We have been trying to meet at least 4 times, if not even more, but we have not been able to meet with Tony. And we are trying to do that. It was rescheduled after today for next week. So
Okay.
I'll try to do my best.
All right. So, I mean, I think you are here,
Yes.
And time is getting tight, so
Exactly.
let's do as much as we can do.
That's me making a pen gesture. Who is going to take,
Oh, who is going to take minutes? Thank you. Who is going to take minutes? Is there a volunteer, or do we have to like play rock, paper, scissors or something?
Well, who was the very last, who has not taken them the most recently? If you see what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
It's not
maybe
me.
it's my turn again, or is it your turn again?
No, I did one, and then I think you did one, or then me. No, Melanie and Joy. Mhm.
Yeah. I'll do them again. That's okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Owe you one. We owe you a lot.
That's okay.
Maybe I'll say I'll do next week.
Ooh,
Just-
Okay, all right, so assessors
No.
is topic number one. Topic number two is, let's see if we can vote as many of these articles as we can. I don't think we can do them all, but we'll hold that whole discussion till we get there. So assessors, Sheila, I'm just going to give the floor to you. And with your background, it looks like you are in a helicopter.
I'm in Nahant.
You're over Nahant.
Yeah, I'm in it. Yeah, I think it's my screen. I'm kind of far away. Sorry. I was doing it so that if David was here, there'd be room for him.
Okay,
Anyway.
no, it's a kind of a neat effect.
It's what happens, I guess. So I'm just gonna start because I put in two articles regarding exemptions that I don't know if you have seen them or not, but I just want to make sure that you know that I have withdrawn those for this year's warrant.
Okay,
And
so
Tony may be able to,
well,
speak on that
we have
too.
not seen them, and if they are
Okay.
withdrawn, unless there are issues around them that are caused by having them withdrawn, I don't know that we
No, I was not able to actually get all the study done to see the impact that it would have. And there is a new exemption called the senior means tested exemption. And that will be voted on at the tax classification hearing. And I'd rather do the research for that because that is a new exemption. And it is tied with those people who are over 65 who file taxes with the state of Massachusetts and use Schedule CB, which stands for circuit breaker. And that's a credit that is given, and it's a formula based on your water and sewer bills and taxes. So I'd like to know how many we have of, elders or seniors in Nahant that actually do receive that exemption from the state or the refund. I don't know how to get that. I'm not sure if it's public or not. I haven't.
So does that require any action from town meeting?
Yes. Oh, no, that one will not. That's why I said I'm withdrawing the others for action at town meeting, that this would be clearly just something done at the tax classification hearing at the time of setting the tax rate.
Okay, and will the withdrawal of either of these two force a special town meeting?
No,
Okay,
no. So I submitted the budget and I think there's just a couple of key items. And I'm gonna stick right at the moment to the purchase of services.
yeah, and
Um,
I'm gonna steal, just so you know, I'm gonna steal the screen from you and put the budget worksheet with your budget up on the screen for everyone
Fine.
as soon as I figure out how to do that. I think it's this. Does everybody see
Scroll
that?
down. Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
So I put in, for the fiscal year 2025, I put in for 219,925,000.
There.
Is that down below? Yes, right. Okay. And the biggest really kind of cut, other than salaries, is my purchase of services. It was been cut to 55. And if you just look at 23, you can see that I was at 60,000. So to drop it to even less than 60 is a little scary to me. I have contracts, and I gave Tony and Allison my breakdown, and it's very, very tight. I have contracts for appraisal services with building permits with my full list and measure. I have personal property, reviewing new accounts, listing a fifth of old accounts. I do all the non-owner occupied properties, and there's about 250 of those. And this is not a certification year, it's an interim year. But in a certification year, I don't have a full list and measure.
Right.
In the now
Was 20,
non-certification years, I'll get back to that. The interim years, I now have the added cost for the full list and measure. So you want to go back to what a certification is?
no, was 2023 a
Yes,
certification year?
yes,
It was.
it was.
Okay.
And so fiscal year 24, fiscal year 25, fiscal year 26, and 27, I have to have my full list of measure, but for fiscal year 28, that'll be my next certification year. We've changed from a 3-year cycle to a 5-year cycle for certification. And the only difference with interim versus certification is the Department of Revenue are in and out of my office for 6 or 7 months and reviewing everything, the property record cards, utility cards, personal property cards and accounts. And it's a full-blown audit. Interim years, I just fill out paperwork. I answer a bunch of questions. If there's nothing out of the ordinary, we pass and move on and get towards the tax rate setting process. So I am concerned, and I do have backup that says that I really do need the $73,822 for my budget for this coming year. Any questions? And most of that is all contractual, licenses, support, mapping, leases. And then I have some other just miscellaneous parts that is just having the binding done for the tax books, education, workshops and meetings, and then postage. And that's all within my purchase of services.
So if 2023 was a certification year,
Right.
isn't that the high expense year, and then it drops off in certification years? I guess that's the question is,
It used to.
how do we go up in a year that's supposed to be a down year?
Well, because that isn't just the only expense, meaning the real estate, meaning the analysis, the building permits. It is also the my mapping, the cartographics. It's the licensing. It's my ESRI programs. It's everything that runs. Those expenses have gone up also over the years. And that we switched from a 3-year to a 5-year. And 2023 was our first 5-year certification. And once that hit, they made some changes with full list and measure on when I have to complete and do those. So that's not included in the certification year. So that particular one contract has been holding steady. And I have the real estate and personal property. I have the CAMA, the software license and support. I mean, that's almost $12,000 itself. I have Near Map now that went up 2,000. I have cartographics, which everyone should be able to look at and see on the town's website for tax mapping and assessment. I need not only the license and support for that, I also have them actually having to help get the work done. And then I need the program Esri that runs in my software program at my desktop. And so those costs, I put that same basically figure in last year, and it got chopped to 55,000.
And where,
And the only good thing is that I didn't spend the part-time wages. I used that to pay for my purchase of services.
Tony or Allison, do you know where actuals are about now?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Oh, do you know what actual is year to date?
Yep. For operating expenses, the assessor's office has spent 32,000, just over 32,000.
So that's this, that would be this one that's called expense subtotal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, and that my services are just beginning for the real estate and personal property. And I have a lot of bills that come in right in June, but they're this fiscal year, not July's fiscal year 2025. It's the timing that's off in my department. It's always been different than everybody else's.
Tony and or Allison, have you had a chance to dig into this?
No. The detailed explanation for the purchase of service request didn't come in until 2 days ago. I've already explained. I don't think there's any, as where we are right now in the budget process, this is really difficult to figure out how we're going to fix this situation. And it's a timing thing that's the issue right now, because we got this budget request, the whole budget we got kind of late in the process, and then we asked about the additional the need for 73,822 in purchase of services, and we didn't get that until a couple days ago. Now obviously the budget is where it is, and we are in this process. I'm not saying that we can't look into it and try to figure out a way to do it, but it is late in the process. I think that needs to be said. We haven't had a chance, like I said, we got it 2 days ago, and today obviously I've been running around dealing with the storm, so I haven't had any time to sit down with Allison and go through the information that we received.
Okay.
So is this something that we need to discuss tonight, or can we bring the assessor back after Tony, Allison, and Sheila have a chance to discuss?
Melanie, you have a way with words.
Yeah, that's what I said at the beginning, that, we were gonna meet with Tony several times, but right now we were gonna meet, I think, early next week.
And I'm assuming that what you provided was something along the lines of, look, here's what makes up $60,402. And these are the whatever, the 5 biggest pieces of it. And here's how I get to 73,822. Oh, because this big piece went up, this big piece went up, and we have a new big piece, or whatever it is. It's something along those lines.
Right.
Well, the other thing I would ask is, how did you plan to be able to meet your 24 budget?
I don't have part-time help, so I was gonna have to use my part-time wages to balance that.
So you were gonna just shift the 23,272 to
Well,
get you
not all of it, but some,
most of it?
yeah.
Okay.
I've had to do that the last couple of years. That which brings to me is I'm the only department that doesn't have reliable, consistent help in the office. I do have 4 senior work-off abatement personnel. That's basically 400 hours, and they probably donate a little extra, but they don't have a particular job, and they're not, I have to supervise everything that they do. They don't work on their own. So really need, like an assistant. I really wanted a full-time, a clerk that should be being trained, because there should be a succession for when I leave in a year and a half. And that'll be running into another certification year.
Yeah.
And if you want tax bills going out on time and getting your tax rate set, before Christmas,
Okay.
you need to have somebody here working on that, making those deadlines.
That is a bit of forewarning for next year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, it is a problem, but it is not an immediate. So, I mean, to Melanie's point, I think the best course of action is between Sheila, Tony, and Allison. You need to come to some sort of, whatever, meeting of the minds on this. I don't know that we can solve anything tonight.
Right.
I am aware that this is Thursday night. I'm thinking that when we get to the administrative part of our meeting, we're going to be talking about having a meeting next Tuesday as well as next Thursday. And I don't think anybody on our committee, this committee, not my committee, this committee is surprised by that. Could you be ready by next Tuesday night?
If Tony and I, can meet.
We will, we're gonna try to meet to come up with something, but I can't say that we're gonna have a way to solve this. I haven't, you guys know how tight the budget is.
Yeah.
So I understand, Sheila's, reasoning behind the request that she's making. But at this point in the game, at this point in the process, it's gonna be difficult. We're gonna try, obviously we need to try to do our best for the purchase of services that, she's required to pay for. I don't know if we're gonna be able to account for everything. So we'll certainly try to meet before your next meeting. And figure out a way to work it through. But it's going to be, you guys remember when we were talking about the library, we were talking about 3 grand and how hard it was to figure out a place to
Oh,
do
yeah.
that. This is almost 20.
Yeah, this piece is almost 20 and there's another 25 sitting almost 26 sitting up here
I
too.
can tell you right now, we're not gonna be able to, it's gonna be completely focused on purchase of services. There's no way we're gonna be able to do more in part-time wages this year.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the meeting tonight. Thank you.
When you come on Tuesday, could you bring with you something like what I described that says, look, here are the key components of purchase of services, whatever they are, the various software programs,
Yeah,
consultants we need to get and so forth, and what they were in 2023, what they are in 2024, and what we're budgeting in 2025, just like 3 columns.
okay.
Yep. And that's probably will help Tony and Allison too.
Okay.
Okay,
I think that's good. Okay, thank you.
thank you.
All right, good night.
Good night. Thank you, Sheila.
Hope everyone's heat's back on.
Assuming since everybody's here, they have electricity. Okay, so on to next topic, which is, oh, look at that. Does everybody see the list of articles?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so, well, first of all, we as a committee need to take a vote on all of these articles. And it's basically, are we going to recommend it? Are we not going to recommend it? Or are we going to do something else? Sometimes we've kind of tried to dance around it a little bit and have something that was not recommended, but no recommendation. And the thought there is that it's really not our purview to offer a recommendation. It really is in the hands of the voters entirely. And we need to do that, make that happen for all of the articles. Article 20, the community preservation. Tony, this hasn't been broken out in the official warrant yet, has it?
No, it has not. I think we've gotten a list from the CPC, but it wasn't finalized yet.
Yeah, okay. So we don't have final wording on these. So basically, we can't vote Article 20, all of these community preservation ones.
I think that is what it's gonna be, what you have there. I don't, there's certainly not gonna be, I don't think there's gonna be anything added to it.
Hand raised,
Yes.
Sorry, Barbara.
sorry to interrupt, but if you recall, at our meeting with the CPC, they want to, there were 3 of these articles that are still being discussed because they heard our concerns. And so they want to come back to us, and they were saying the Tuesday meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so
Thank you.
Lynn, you're absolutely right. My impression was that they are going to reword, in some cases, the article itself from what we saw when what was it, last Thursday, when we met with them.
Yes.
Right, so I think it's premature to vote on any of this Article 20.
Right.
You know,
That's if we could get there anyways.
well, the rest of them, I don't know. We may surprise ourselves.
Right, right.
And hi, Peter. How are you?
Bob, for
Good. Good.
the Tuesday meeting, can we devote a good part or most of the meeting to discussing the CPC? What else is on our agenda is what I'm trying to say.
Right now, just the assessors.
Oh, okay.
So-
We're gonna get a preview of that on Monday night or Tuesday morning, as I recall, from Lynn.
Yeah, she said she was going to email it around, and if I get it and I see that not everyone is copied, I'll forward it along.
Okay, thanks.
And then there's another couple down here that we really haven't talked a whole lot about. The zoning article, talked a little about this one. This one goes, these two kind of go together. But most of these are, more, they're certainly similar, if not identical, to other prior year's articles. So, let me see. Do I have a copy?
You want to just start going through them, especially the easy ones? We'll confirm they're easy.
Yep, exactly. So I have a copy here of the last warrant that I found out in our Dropbox. So we can refer to the actual wording if you want. Other than that, let's just go through them in order. And if I can get this thing to what is it doing?
So transfers, we don't know yet, correct? Because we'll get that like right at the last moment, won't we?
Yes, I believe so. That's when we generally do like that morning, isn't it?
Right. We get the prior year bills and transfers. I mean, right up in, I don't know. Allison was so good last year that she could tell us exactly what she was waiting for.
Yeah, right now I don't have anything for transfers. Because what I'd like to do is wait until like June, and then that's when there can be the finance committee and the board of selectmen can approve year-end transfers. And I have a better idea of, what's needed at that time. Town meeting is still a little bit early, so I don't know if we're gonna have anything for Article 1.
Okay.
As of right now, I don't have anything.
And
For
if
snow and
we
ice, we will.
if we don't have anything for Article 1, then we
Indefinitely postpone.
indefinitely postpone. Okay.
Mhm.
Or do you withdraw the article?
Right.
I think it's already going to be printed in the book, or do you saying withdraw it now
No, I mean withdraw it.
that day? I don't know. That could be a question for the night before the script. We can
Yeah.
figure out. So
That's more of a
Yeah.
moderator question.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
but for us for now, we'll skip Article 1. Article 2 is snow and ice. So this is the article where we play catch up basically. So we vote on the prior year's actual. No,
No.
Leslie is shaking her head. No.
No. So this is the the current year that we're in, the fiscal year. It would be the current year overage of the budget. As you remember, this is the one, snow and ice is the one thing that we can overspend during the year that we're allowed to legally. So we always set a budget of $30,000 per year. Right now, there's an overage of just over 74,000. So it would be to approve, I would say from the reserve fund, a transfer of at least that amount to cover snow and ice. I'll know a more definitive number in another week. I'm hoping today doesn't really increase it.
Yeah. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. This is another one we should probably hold until we know the exact figure.
Yep.
Well,
And-
I think we can, recommend it because we're gonna have to spend it.
Right, we're gonna
Regardless
have to
of what
pay
the
it.
number is.
Right. Good point, Tim.
I move we recommend that article.
I second that.
Okay, then all in favor. So Tim,
Aye.
Deborah,
Hi.
Peter,
Aye.
Barbara,
I,
Melanie,
I,
Dan. Dan is on mute. We assume the mouth moving was an aye. Is that an aye, Dan?
How about now? Aye.
There we go. Thank you. Enjoy.
Aye.
Right. And Bob, aye. So unanimous vote in favor. So Article 2 is snow and ice. So this is it. And it was tonight, which is the what?
Fourth.
Fourth?
Yes.
Okay. Prior year's bills.
So I do have one for that. It's actually an assessor's bill from last May. It's $450 for a conference that Sheila was attending. And I just got the bill recently. So if you recommend this, this means that you're approving her current year budget, her FY24 budget to cover that $450 bill.
Huh?
Moved from somewhere else within her budget or from reserve or something else?
So, no, it would be from within her budget.
But where in her budget?
I don't know.
Oh, so we should wait until that budget's properly presented. Or
Well, no,
fully
this is
presented?
current year budget it would come from
This
FY
is this year.
24.
I understand. Sorry.
So it's an FY23 bill that I didn't receive until FY24. And by law, I can't pay a prior year bill unless it's approved by town meeting. And then if it is approved, it comes out of that department's current year budget. So I would go ahead and pay it like right after town meeting if it was approved.
And it
And how
would,
much is it?
$450.
And you might still get some late breaking news, some more.
I better not get any other late bills. People know I don't like them. So I really think this is the only one.
Okay.
Sorry, I was being a little bit slow. So this is a FY23 bill that will be paid out of her FY24 budget.
Correct.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
But she already has a shortfall in her 24 budget. Or an anticipated shortfall. We're gonna need it.
Oh, yeah, she's aware. She gave me this bill and she's advised me to pay it if it gets approved. So I don't know if she's accounting for this or not.
Sheila, is that the only prior year bill, or is there some other surprises in the envelope?
That's the only one I'm aware of.
I move we approve it.
I'll second it.
great. Moved and seconded. All in favor?
wait,
Oh, go ahead, Barbara.
seconded?
By Peter.
Okay, got it.
All right, all in favor, Barbara,
I,
Melanie,
I,
Anne,
Aye.
Joy.
Aye.
Now I'm starting at the bottom. I'm gonna really confuse myself. Where was I? Did I say Peter?
You haven't. Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Bob, aye. Did I miss anyone? I don't think so. So unanimous vote in favor. Excellent. Salary and classification plan. So this is. What am I looking for?
So I haven't even provided you with the draft of this yet.
Yeah.
Because we were kind of waiting for the study that Tony had, has undertaken with, a third party, and we're supposed to, I wanted to get the results before updating the salary plan.
Oh, I thought.
Did
the
you
study
see,
wasn't-
Allison, Allison, did you see we have a call with them tomorrow?
Yeah, so I'm hoping right after that I've updated everything else besides those salaries that are part of the salary survey.
Okay, my impression was the salary survey wouldn't come until next year. No?
No, we were hoping to incorporate it into this. We'll see after our call tomorrow, the results, and then I can have an updated plan for you next week.
Okay.
Like I said, I updated everything else except the full-time salaries that are part of the study.
Question, will the updated salary plan be consistent with the budget?
No, exactly.
So, the salary plan for the salary classification plan for the full-time positions provides a range of salary. So it should be consistent with the budget. It's not a definitive number that appears on the salary plan. So there's a range and then there's a high point. So, I would
But-
assume that the budget would fall within there.
But we
So,
got to make double sure on that too, then.
I will.
so if your ranges have to be a little bigger to make sure they accommodate current.
Correct.
All right, but either way, or in any way, it's premature to vote that one. So Article 5, compensation for elected officials. So
This also appears on the salary classification plan, but I do have this portion ready because it's the town clerk salary. So I could share this part of the classification plan with you if you want to see it.
Yeah, and this shouldn't change. This should be non-controversial. It's like $1 for the selectmen and
No, it does change because it includes the town clerk.
yeah.
Oh,
Because she's elected. So I can pull it up if you want. Could I try to share my screen?
As soon as I figure out how I let you do that.
I think I can. I have the option. Oh, no, I can't. Never mind. It says I can't while you're sharing.
All right, now I'm not sharing and I might have to come in here and push a button. Whoops.
Nope, I got it.
Not that button.
I just have to pull up the document. Not showing me screen. Let me try again. Here it is. Are you able to see that?
Here we
Yeah.
go.
Okay, so this is all the salary classification plan that will be updated and I'll have for you next week. But this is Article 5 right here that is updated.
What is the current salary for the town clerk?
Let me just, if I pull this up, are you seeing my screen switch everything around?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
We see
okay.
Article 5.
Okay, you still see that? Okay. Her current salary is $64,417. So this represents a 4% increase.
Was that approved by the selectmen?
As part of the budget, they approved the omnibus budget, which is it's a part of, yes.
But that's the treasurer. Oh, wait.
So this is all the information that we need to make a recommendation. Or
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
We can move into this.
It does agree to the line item in the budget.
Yeah, so
So-
under the town clerk's budget, there's a line that equates to this, yep.
Yep, 67,252. Close enough.
So technically, we would be approving the 4% increase for the town clerk.
Correct.
And this is not gonna change.
No.
And just, I don't,
Well, we could change it.
we could change it, yeah.
You could change it.
We'd have to figure out where the change is either coming from or going to, though. But anyway, so the way this works is this article and the previous article set the salary, but do not authorize the expenditure of funds.
Could
The
you say that
actual
again?
authorization of the expending of funds of money is part of the omnibus itself.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So, does anyone want to move something on this?
I'll make a motion to approve Article 5.
I'll second.
All right, made and seconded. So again, all in favor, Tim,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Deborah,
Hi,
Barbara,
Aye.
Dan.
Aye.
Yay, we can hear you. Peter
Aye.
and Bob, aye. So unanimous vote in favor. Let's see, I'm gonna steal the screen back from
Yep,
you.
I'll stop sharing. Yep.
Yay. It's right underneath here, so this one is recommended. So next one is Article 6, which is the omnibus, which we can't do. If for no other reason than because of the assessors, but probably a couple of other reasons that I can't think of right now. Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund. So this we talked about as part of the DPW budget. So now what do I want? You want, see if the town will vote to raise to operate the water and sewers, take any action there too. But this one, when it gets voted, there's a summary statement that goes in there, is there not? Or is this it?
what would the summary statement add, Bob?
The amounts.
Yep, I have that drafted. So it's basically just taking the numbers from the that omnibus spreadsheet that I have and putting it into this article.
Right.
So whoever's drafting this article, I could provide, you know, the numbers in the format that we did last year.
Great. That's me, Allison.
Right.
Okay.
I thought it was me.
Oh,
I can send it to both of you.
Maybe I have the next one.
And yeah, then you
I
two.
need a ruler to see who gets which one.
I don't, this somewhere.
I thought I had one of these too.
Oh, good grief. All right, wait a second. Let me see whose name I put on it. If you want to, this one has Dan's name on it.
Oh, okay.
Dan, see,
Well, I've got water DPW capital.
and I've got water sewer paving.
You can trade amongst yourselves if you
No,
want.
I'm happy. Water,
Yeah.
sewer, I'm good.
Me too.
Okay, it's like, I'll trade you the water and sewer
Yeah.
enterprise for,
I'll give you water sewer enterprise and water sewer paving for compost area.
an undesignated article to be named later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that'll be the omnibus.
Okay, what's your pleasure on this one? Do we want to wait until we have the figures and the exact wording of it, or should we just recommend it the way it is and know that those will be part of the actual article as read on town meeting floor?
I have it drafted if you want me to share again.
There you go. Okay.
Yes, please.
Want to just read it to us?
Um,
Mm,
you might
it's
want
easier.
to look at it too. It can get a little bit complicated. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, if it helps us get to a recommendation tonight, then we should
Yes.
do it.
So this is how it would appear as the recommendation. So it has the salary, the expense line, capital outlay, debt, the reserve, and then it states what part is to be funded through water and sewer receipts and income, which is just part of my revenue projection. And then the 56,000 to be appropriated from water and sewer retained earnings, that's to cover the capital outlay expense in the water and sewer enterprise fund.
So what exactly is this article doing? Is this approving a
Approving these
transfer?
appropriations in the spending in water and sewer.
So the appropriation of 2,051,000 in receipts,
Mm-hmm.
and then the spending that adds up to the 3,412.
Mm-hmm. So if you recall, the debt, most of it is raised on the tax rate because we have a water and sewer debt shift.
And not a big deal, but what's the $600 of investment income, just for fun?
So we have the treasurer keeps the water and sewer receipts in its own fund that accrues, we allocate interest to. It accrues interest on a monthly basis based on spending. So I'm projecting that on average, we get a little bit more than this, but I'm projecting the $600 for investment income.
Is there any way we could make that bigger by doing, I don't know, doing it sooner or whatever, putting,
I've looked at, what we've received over the past few years. I wouldn't feel comfortable projecting an increase right now. It's based on when we receive receipts and how we're spending. It's how much money is in the bank. So it kind of depends on the actual, rates that we're getting, which haven't varied much. So something we could take a look at, but I wouldn't change it much for the projection right now.
that's fine. I always just, our job, ask any place to get a little more money. That's all.
Yeah.
So, Allison, I'm kind of thinking out loud again. What I'm struggling with is it's not really obvious how you get those two to balance.
Right.
So we probably can't do it as part of the article reading itself, but could we prepare a statement that we can include in our recommendation that says, all right, we're appropriating 3,402,000, and here's where it's coming from. There's the 2,051,051, there's the 56,000, and then I'm assuming the rest of it is debt shift.
Yep, so a portion of it is a portion is debt shift. We also are projecting about $30,000 is to be raised through that water sewer capital charge that we implemented a few years ago. So yeah, I can definitely put into verbiage, you
I-
know,
I,
what all
does,
this is.
I'm not suggesting lots of verbiage. I'm just suggesting taking what's here and I think just adding a couple of additional lines to it.
Sentences, yep. Sure, I can
No,
do that.
not sentences, lines.
Okay, lines.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can draft something.
okay. And then pass that on to Dan,
Yep.
unless Dan trades it away to someone else.
Nope, I'll keep it.
Yeah, you're responsible for your own trades.
Okay. Do we want to, someone want to make a motion on this?
I move to recommend it.
I'll
I
second that.
All right, all in favor. Am I at the top or the bottom of this thing? Okay, I'm at the top. So Dan, I don't know how you got to the top.
Oh, boy.
That's an I? All right, Deborah,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
uh, and Bob, aye. So unanimous vote in favor. And let's see, Allison, you are still sharing. Yes, okay. So next one, then I guess I have to go back and share my screen again. Okay, so that was water and sewer enterprise. We just voted this Article 7, Article 8, water and sewer paving. The article itself.
I move we recommend this one.
Second on it?
I'll
I'll second that.
Okay, let's see. Let me get to the top of the thing here. So all in favor, Tim,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
and Bob, aye. I think that's everyone. So that's another unanimous vote in favor. Excellent. So
Yeah,
this
and Deborah, you're drafting that, just a reminder that that is to be funded through water and sewer retained earnings, if you want to note that.
Yeah, it's right. It sort of says it in the article, but it doesn't know, it says including, okay.
yeah, that's the 56,000 that was in the one in Article 7.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, rubbish enterprise. Dan is the enterprise fund dude here.
Yes.
So this is similar, well, similar in concept to the water and sewer enterprise fund, except now it's covering rubbish costs. And this one, similar to the water and sewer one, will have its own little statement as well.
Yes. And Allison, do we have that basic data?
Sorry, yes, I do. So I kind of have it set up like we just looked at the water and sewer one. It's basically you're approving the salaries that you've seen before of $66,164, the expenses of $564,976, which totals $631,140. And that's to be raised through rubbish department receipts. And then I just included $200 of investment income.
Oh, great. So we make money on trash. Good.
A little bit.
Terrific. So we can vote. I think we can vote this up or down.
I'll make a motion that we approve this one.
I'll second it.
Right, motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, Joy,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
Tim,
Yes,
Melanie.
Aye.
Joy, did I ask
You
you?
did.
Who did I
Yep.
miss? Did I miss anyone?
You?
Me? Aye. All right, unanimous vote in favor.
Yep.
So off we go on to um share screen. I'm gonna get dizzy with all this hopping around here. So we've approved this one. Okay, compost area. Melanie, this one is yours. I'm actually kind of why I'm just looking at this right now, wondering why is this an article and not just a line item either in the omnibus or in rubbish enterprise?
What's that, the compost?
Yeah,
Because every year this is, I'm gonna speak for Tony. This is the last of cleaning up the compost area, if I'm not mistaken. This is not part of the typical regular order of business, but this is to help clean up the
okay.
the compost area,
So
I
this-
think, if I
it's-
understand it correctly.
So it's more like a capital item, but
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
we have capital items built into rubbish and water and sewer enterprise funds. Why is
Yeah,
'Cause I think-
historically, this has been voted separately. You're
Right.
correct. We could include it as a capital item. But what happens is this money is actually transferred into a separate capital account where some of those other capital items that you're voting on stays within like water and sewer budget. It could become part of the omnibus, just historically, it's always been this way.
and it's the last time, it's the last year for it anyway. So let's not make a big deal out of it.
And the 30,000 is to be funded through retained earnings in the rubbish enterprise.
I'm sorry, Allison, can you repeat that again?
So for this, the $30,000 is coming from retained earnings in the rubbish enterprise.
I see. Thank you.
Does anyone want to make a motion about this?
I make a motion, we approve.
I'll second.
All right, so all in favor, Melanie,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
Tim,
aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Bob, aye. Unanimous vote in favor. The next one, there's no point in jumping to that other spreadsheet. So recreation revolving. So this, oh yeah, so this is setting up the revolving accounts for a whole bunch of things. So blah 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 blah. Do we know what the appropriate or what we're the amounts of money we're putting in each of these?
I believe we're not, well,
Is it a these or is it a one or is it singular?
So for the rec revolving fund, you're not appropriating anything. It's just authorizing the use of the rec revolving fund. So basically, you know, whatever receipts we take in, we're allowed to spend. For the Article 12, you do, there's spending limits that you approve.
And why do we say raise and appropriate?
It's the language we've been provided by council.
Okay.
I can find the motion from last year. Hold on. Let me look for it. Sorry, my son's trying to feed me his yogurt.
Well, just have a bite. Just have a bite, Alice.
I don't even like yogurt. Okay, let's see. No, thank you, bud.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
No problem.
If you need a timeout, take a timeout. No,
Lick it.
Oh.
They don't give up at that age.
A minute. So it said the motion last year, it says authorizes the revolving accounts. So there's, it's just authorizing to spend the accounts, but there's no number.
Because they talk about raise and appropriate.
Yeah, and that's the way it's always read, but we're not raising the money or appropriating it. You're just authorizing the use of those funds, which is, those are revolving accounts that we take in money for, and we can only spend what we take in.
So it's like an internal thing within those departments. It's not like something that the town has to do. It's more that they have the authority within them to raise.
Yeah, so we have separate revolving funds set up for each of these. Like we have a park and rec fund. We have a 4th of July revolving fund. We have a playground fund. So, whatever receipts that we take in, it sits within that fund, and then we can only spend what we take in.
yeah. All right.
And just because the Mass General Law requires you to vote this every year for revolving funds.
Well, we probably don't want to lock horns with them, so we leave the thing the way it's.
So I move that we recommend this one.
I second.
All right. Moved and seconded. So all in favor, Tim,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
and then Bob, aye. So unanimous vote in favor. Let me quickly keep up with the housekeeping here. So we did compost area and we did recreation revolving. Okay, back to the warrant. Back to the warrant. So this Article 12 revolving funds. So these are this is the one where we're setting maximum limits, and there's a list that goes with this, is there not? Or
Yeah, so this is where you're approving maximum spending limits. It's for the Council on Aging revolving fund, cemetery, the Board of Appeals, and the Conservation Commission. Each one we've always set at $20,000, except Board of Appeals we've set at $10,000. Again, you can only spend the amount of receipts that you take in for each of these funds. So you're just approving the maximum spending limit.
okay, but when this is published or read, those amounts get at minimum read. Yes? Yeah, I can.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Wait, hand up. Out of curiosity, how much are we spending on those? As of this year? Do you know that?
Not nearly this level. It's probably, I mean, it depends. Like for Conservation Commission, that's a relatively new revolving fund. And it only takes in money related to, you know, issuing of special permits, and there's only certain circumstances by which you can spend it. So it depends. So it can vary from year to year, but the spending limit, we're nowhere close to reaching.
Thank you.
And they are all self-funding.
Correct. Yeah, nothing is coming from tax revenue. It's all self-funded.
And that, does anything ever go the other way?
No, nope.
So for example, with the Conservation Commission, they get receipts from permits of some sort. Do they get to set their own permit rate?
Tony might be a better person to talk about this. I don't know if it's state. Tony, do you know, for the Conservation Commission revolving fund for the permit amounts, does the commission set them, or is it a state standard?
Sorry,
Or is it
the question is if the limit amounts are set by the commission?
No, so what the
fees.
Conservation Commission charges, the fees, is it something that the commission establishes, or are they state fees?
It depends on whether it falls under like the state wetlands bylaw, or if it falls under the expanded local bylaw, or if it falls under the stormwater bylaw. There are a lot of different fees. So if they're local bylaws, I believe we control. The state bylaw might be listed in the state law what the caps on those fees are. We might have the ability to reduce them, but we might not be able to go higher.
So I just want to be clear about the term "we." The commission itself does not get to set the rate unilaterally. It would have to at least be, for example, approved by the selectmen.
Even it may actually, it may actually require a town meeting vote if it's in the local bylaw. They do have regulations. I'll have to double check, Tim, but yeah, I don't think that they can just change fees on their own.
Yeah, I just want to check that on any of those revolvers.
Yep.
Hand up. Is there a way that the fees can reflect in any way the size of the project? As you may know, there's an enormous project going on right now. Do the fees reflect the size?
There's a lot of different fees, so some might. I know, like, if you were to get a building permit, it's based on it's a percentage of the cost of the value of the job. So some of the fees under the Concom might follow that same methodology, but I'm really not positive.
And then what happens, for instance, during a year or two where there is a very large project? Where do those fees go? Do they come back to the town?
That would be a revolver. It would stay in it.
Right.
Yeah, it
Well-
stays within the fund.
But there is a cap on the fund, right, Allison? Am I right?
There's a cap on annual spending, not on what you can take in.
Okay, so yeah, so even if it sits in the fund, they are capped on how much they can spend out of that fund on an annual basis.
But I'm talking about what comes in when people are doing something. If that's a very large project, can the Concom collect more?
The definition of a revolver is it would stay in that fund, and I suppose a town meeting could try to take some of it out, but other than that, it would stay in that fund for that purpose.
Forever?
Revolving.
Yeah, it rolls. Yeah, it doesn't drop to free cash at the end of the year.
What was
Do we
the
know how
conclusion?
much, do we know how much is in it now?
If Allison, we can get that for you if Allison, if you don't have it up handy, but we can get it for you
Yeah,
guys.
I don't have it right in front of me, but I can run a quick report.
I don't think we're talking large numbers. We could give you a report of, what they've taken in over the last couple of years per year. But I don't think it's significant numbers.
Just out of curiosity, since the definition of a revolving fund is what we know it is, somebody mentioned, how could the town try to tap into that fund? It would be impossible if it's a revolving fund. See what I'm saying?
Yes, I do see.
I mean,
I'm not sure I understand the
okay,
question.
a minute
Yeah.
ago, maybe Tony said, I suppose the town could try to get into, take some of the proceeds or something.
Don't blame that on Tony. That was me saying. that.
Okay,
Yeah,
Tim, I blame it on you.
yeah.
So
And,
how would, I mean, that's-
and my point is that it stays in the revolver, but a town meeting could say dissolve the committee,
Oh,
dissolve the
all right.
purpose and take the money away.
You're talking radical, okay.
Actually, somebody just advised me that that's not necessarily true.
So I did just run a report for the Conservation Commission revolving fund, and through March, they've collected $992.
That's not a very big number compared to the size of one ongoing project, which is huge.
Which project are you referring to?
I am referring to a project, the dock that Kevin Dwan is building, which is enormous and has been going on for a number of years, but right now is like huge.
I can follow up with Chris and Kent, our agent, to find out, what fees, like in particular, that project is paid and how that was formulated.
Is the
But-
fee just a fee, or is it tied to the size of the project, the way a building permit?
Well, that's what Barbara's asking.
That's what I'm asking too.
Right.
Well, the permit fee might be based on the value of the project, but there are other fees associated with the Concom. So I'd rather talk to Chris and Kent and get those answers for you guys, because I really am not positive about it.
Thank you. That would be helpful.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
By the way, I'm literally on 2 Zooms at the same time right now. And that's why I'm kind of split. So bear with me.
You're doing great, please.
Well, you're multitasking well.
Yeah,
Yes.
we would not have known.
Oh, now I have to tune into the other one. I'll check back in with you guys in a second.
Okay, let us know if something goes on over there. I suspect the other one is the housing plan committee, because
Housing Production Committee. Mhm.
yeah, because we ran into an issue again with we both used the same Zoom account to schedule our meeting, which you can't do. Well, you can do it, that's the problem, but you can't actually have it occur. You can schedule it, but it will not happen. All right, anyway, back to Article 12 here.
So that's the spending limit for the Council of Aging, the Cemetery, the Board of Appeals, and Conservation Committee,
Yes,
right? Okay, so I motion, we recommend it.
is there a
Second.
second? Okay, all in favor for Melanie, you have.
I'm sorry, can I just ask one quick
Sure.
question?
Yeah.
Just so I understand better. This article is looking to cap the spending, but is it capping it by a specific amount per year or a value over what they take in receipts?
No, it's a specific amount per year. So
And
for
what-
each one, it's $20,000, which is much higher
Than what they take in.
yeah, than what they take in.
Except the Board of Appeals is 10,000 for that one.
Correct, that's 10,000, yeah.
I see. Okay, I understand now.
So it's the spending limit per year.
I understand.
Okay. Does that change any of the motions? No.
No, I still motion.
All right. Okay. So all in favor. So Melanie,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Peter,
Hi.
Barbara.
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay. Tim,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
and Deborah.
Aye.
And is that it? Did I miss anyone?
Did you
And
get
I
Bob?
could,
I
I,
missed me.
Yeah.
I vote aye, so it's everyone but one abstention.
I might change, but I do want more information, which Tony says he'll be getting us at some point. But
For
abstain.
now, abstain. So the,
Yeah.
the motion carries. And we're off to number 13. OPEB, which stands for Other Post-Employment Benefits. And this is what? This is not the state one. This is
Town.
And I
Is
have
this-
one question on this one. I don't know if anyone's here that can answer it, but this is basically funding our pension liability or right? It's
Health benefits for retirees.
right. But I mean, it's something we have to do, and we put money into it every year, and sometimes we spend it, sometimes we don't, or is it
It's
variable?
something we will eventually have to do. It's underfunded. And we should try and get it closer to properly funded.
Okay, thank you.
Correct.
and I don't who is
I've got that one.
yeah. So Tim, we should try to get to whatever the unfunded portion is and include it in our recommendation just to give people a sense of what we're talking about.
I believe I sent that to you. It's just over 3 million.
Allison, in addition to this 25,000, we have standard funding of it every year, do we not?
This is the standard funding. Well, we pay on a pay-as-you-go basis. So for current retirees on an annual basis, yes, it's pay-as-you-go.
Oh, okay. So meaning what is drawn is what is funded?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is if everybody were to retire tomorrow, what the liability would be.
The 3 million is.
Right,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what unfunded liability is.
right. That's yes.
And so we are basically self-funding or pay as you go, I guess is maybe a better way to say it.
Correct. Yep.
So I have a question for the committee on this one. And I made a side comment to Bob at one point out of the meeting. This would be an opportunity to talk about the fact that whenever we have full-time employees, the expense to the town is much more than the line item. And this would just be an opportunity if we wanted to remind the town of that.
That's a
Would
good
we
point.
want to?
Want to
Yeah.
tee this? It could come back through as an ugly issue. Let's get people, give them a little bit of a warning order.
Meaning,
Just the general discussion that we just had.
without the dollar amount.
Right. No, yeah, we don't need to get in the nuts and bolts of it because the dollar amount is scary and is we're more likely to be have a space attack than have to pay that number.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
So Tim, for me, I would have to see how you would like to include it in the recommendation before I can tell you yay or nay.
Fair point.
What was I going to say? I guess the only thing I would add here is that at least in a commercial set of financial statements that would, like a publicly held company publishes, in the financial footnotes, they do have to disclose the unfunded pension liability. So it at least, in that sense, there's some precedent for it. But I think I tend to agree with Dan as let's not just drop, a really big number out of nowhere without some forewarning. So my preference would be to explain what it is and explain that the total liability, it could be big, but it's very unlikely that you would ever have to pay the whole thing all at once. Although sooner or later, over time, you are going to have to pay the whole thing. But that anyway, does somebody want to make a motion on this? And the motion is really just whether we're approving the article itself. And
I'll make a motion to approve the article.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have a second pass through this where we will read the recommendations that have been written by the different people. So
Right.
we'll have an opportunity to review Tim's
Verbiage. Yeah.
verbiage,
Okay.
Tim's wonderful prose.
I'll second.
No, wait, was there even a
I
motion?
made him.
Peter.
Yeah, Peter made the motion.
Okay, all right. So motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, Tim,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
Ann,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Deborah,
Hi.
Bob, aye. So unanimous vote in favor. Off we go to stabilization. And again, this is $200,000 into the stabilization fund. I can't say it's been super long-standing, but it's been long-standing enough that we have built up a cushion in the stabilization fund finally. Yay.
Tony gets some credit for that.
Tony gets lots of credit for that. Tony's attending another meeting. He can't.
No, I wish you were here to.
Is there a motion on this one?
So moved.
Second?
Aye. Well, I'll second, sorry.
That's all right. Moved and seconded, all in favor. Tim,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
Deborah.
Aye.
I missed somebody. Who did I miss?
Peter. Aye.
Hi. No, I missed a bunch of people. I just missed people when I jumped my screen here. Barbara,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Deborah, did I ask?
You did
Okay, you don't get to vote twice.
something about
Aye, unanimous vote in favor. We,
So
paving,
so for those two articles, whoever's writing them, sorry, you just want to put that there to be funded with free cash.
Okay. Allison, I'm sure I'm gonna wind up following up with you with. a
That's
little bit
fine,
more
yeah,
detail.
definitely email me. Bob, could you throw up that list of assignments?
I thought I,
It's right there.
are
Yes,
you not
Bob.
seeing?
I gotta fix my screen so I can see it.
Would it be possible to email that to us so we don't go rooting in the Dropbox?
I did email it to you and I will email it to you again,
Thank you.
when we're done tonight.
Great.
Okay, so Article 15 is paving. Whoops, not that one, sorry. Here we go. Article 15, this one's pretty routine.
Yeah, this is just, I think Tony has a plan, pave the entire town, and then, it's like painting a bridge. You paint the bridge and then start back over it.
Yeah, exactly. Is there a motion?
I
I'll
move to
make a
accept.
motion to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, Barbara,
I,
Tim? Tim,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
Deborah,
Hi,
Bob, I feel like I missed someone. No? All right, then unanimous vote in favor. So that was paving, water, and DPW capital. And this is somewhat routine, or I mean, routine in the sense that there is a similar article every year. The amount changes a little bit depending on what projects are contemplated for the next year.
I will move that we recommend this. This is the one, not only is it my article, but this is the one that has the new water measurement system, which I think is a very good idea. But at any rate,
Oh, I'm sorry. Thinking of a different article. This is you're right. This is a standalone. Meaning
So
it doesn't happen every year.
I move.
Second,
Good. Who seconded? Tim?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, moved and seconded. So Barbara,
Aye.
Ann,
All right.
Joy,
Aye.
Deborah,
hi.
Melanie,
Aye.
Joy.
Do I vote twice?
Oh, sorry. Peter,
Aye.
and Bob, I.
I vote aye too, Bob.
Okay, Tim, I'm assuming, yes, Tim is an aye.
Yes.
All right, that's the water meters. Article 17, MWRA capital. This is the one I was actually speaking to when I was going on and on.
That's the every year one.
This is the every year one, and this is the one that has either a very low or a zero interest rate on it.
The zero interest rate.
It's zero, yep.
Okay. Does anyone want to make a motion?
I
I
motion.
move. Oh, go for it.
Recommend it.
All right,
I'll
second.
second.
Okay, so here we go. Barbara,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Roy,
Aye.
Deborah.
Hi,
Deborah, you've reappeared in the list again. Dan.
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
I feel like I missed somebody, but I don't know.
Melanie, aye.
Melanie, where have you gone? Well, there you are. All right, and Bob votes aye. Unanimous vote in favor. We move on. This is the water meters. We just did Article 17, Article 18, the ambulance.
And that one's mine.
Yeah, I'm pausing only to see if there's any discussion on this one.
If we borrow the money, what um what are the finance terms?
So we're proposing to only borrow a portion of it and to fund a portion with free cash. So we'd only be borrowing 265,000. And what we would do, we would issue 1-year bands first. Because it would be spent relatively quickly, and then we could pay down the bands within a short amount of time instead of issuing long-term debt. That's generally how we pay for these types of projects, and bands come with a lower interest rate.
And would the ambulance be with the fire department?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
So when this is read on the floor of town meeting, it would be read specifying the two numbers where we would say appropriate from available funds in the treasury, forget which is which, 265, and borrow 185.
Sorry, yes, 265 to borrow and 185 from free cash.
So we're
Uh,
gonna change the wording of this article, or that's just in our recommendation?
No, so in the motion, it'll specifically state that, and then if you just want to state in the motion that that's how it's broken out too. I mean, in
I
your
see.
recommendation, you can.
Yeah,
But yeah, the motion will specifically state where the funds are coming from.
I'll make sure to do that, Joy.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to understand the whole process too.
Yeah, I think the other thing is to speak to the fact that while we don't quite need the ambulance this year, the lead time on ordering and getting an ambulance is 3 years, and we could point to the fact that our fire engine that we purchased, was that 2 years ago, Bob? Literally is not due to come in for another couple of months.
That's a good point. If we wait till we absolutely need it, then it's a long wait.
Then we won't have one for a couple of years,
And
essentially.
it might be more expensive by then.
yeah, that's the two advantages to this.
Yes, yes,
It locks the price and it
right.
respects.
Yes.
Is there a motion on this one? And
I'll make a motion that we approve.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll
second.
Did you get who seconded? Barbara, I didn't. I heard two people, but I don't know who it was.
I think it was Dan, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah,
Okay, all right, all in favor, Barbara,
Aye.
Ann,
aye.
Deborah,
Hi.
Peter,
Aye.
Tim.
Aye.
Well, now everybody's moved. I've already asked Dan, I've already asked Deborah, right?
Yes.
I've missed Joy and Melanie.
Aye.
Aye.
Right. Did I miss anybody other than Bob who votes aye? So unanimous vote in favor. All right, so we did this one, we did this one.
Okay,
Chapter-
Bob, not to be a pain, but could you just put that list of assignments up for a second? I'm afraid I'm gonna miss. Okay. I've got one.
Let's just catch up here. So we've approved a whole bunch of these. All the way up to the ambulance. Okay. We okay?
Yeah, I think
All right, so chapter 90 highway is chapter 90 highway. This one is a every year article.
Right.
Discussion, and if not, a motion.
I motion, we recommend it.
I
Okay,
will second that.
right. All in favor, Barbara,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Deborah,
Hi.
Peter,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Joy.
Aye again.
Okay, I thought you were twice. Who did I miss?
Dan, right.
Aye, okay. And Bob, aye. Unanimous vote in favor. Okay, so that's chapter 90. Article 20 is community preservation, so
That's Tuesday.
that's Tuesday, right? Lynn and the committee will be joining us again, so I think we just um hold all discussion unless anybody really feels strongly that they want to discuss anything that's in there tonight. Everyone is silent. We will move on. Opioid settlement funds. This one's mine. So this one is basically the money that this is more of an accounting administrative thing than anything else. It's moving that set of funds that now is kind of part of the general fund into a fund of its own.
As is required by law, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
You can't just deposit in the general fund and spend it willy-nilly. There's certain guide rails to how it's going to be deployed.
Yep.
So I move we recommend this.
I'll
Sure.
second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Barbara,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
I'm missing someone. Oh, Tim
Yeah. Aye.
and Bob. Aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I still missing someone?
Deborah.
Deborah. Okay. Unanimous vote in favor, and we're going to move on. I now made, you can't see it. I made myself a list, so I can't forget anybody. Change membership of the sailing program committee. Again, this one was they want to go from a 5 to a 7-member committee, but it requires action of town meeting.
I mean, it's their initiative, so I think we should just support them.
Yeah. And that's I think that's really all we need to say.
Yep.
I'll
All right.
move to accept it.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Right, made and seconded. So, Barbara,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Deborah,
Hi.
and Bob votes aye. So unanimous vote in favor. Look, my list worked. Treasurer collector. Again, we're changing, or not we, the article is to change the term of the treasurer collector from 1 to 3 years in kind of in an effort to make it a more attractive position and keep good people around. But that requires a vote of town meeting, so that's why this one is here. Is there a motion?
I motion.
Is there a second?
I
I'll
second.
second. Oh,
Okay, Barbara,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Bob votes aye, unanimous vote in favor. Okay, now we're in a little bit uncharted territory here. So this is the floodplain. We haven't talked a lot about this one.
Did we have a presentation on this?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think we did.
No, and I have to write about it, so I would love to know more.
Stormwater improvements is this is the one, yes, Tony. I believe Tony talked to us about this one. It's the citizens petition that we did not get anything.
What, you're talking about 25 or 24?
20.
24.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, 25, Peter, you're correct.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had jumped ahead.
That's okay. I don't,
Should we get somebody from zoning or planning and zoning?
I'm just wondering who it is. Is it the planning board or is it?
It's
No.
all, so the zoning
You guys-
board, it would be the
You guys are
planning
talking
board.
about Article 24.
Yeah.
Yes.
So because it's a zoning article, it's going through the planning board had a hearing as required by law, and they're going to be providing a recommendation to you from the planning board on this article. So you're going to get a recommendation from the planning board related to this. This article was presented to us by DCR, who manages the FEMA flood maps and that sort of thing. And basically, they said that our local
Yes.
local bylaw was modeled off of the old model bylaw. The new model bylaw includes some things that our local bylaw doesn't, and so we just had to update it to add to it. There are some decent changes to the floodplain section of our zoning. It won't change the mapping. It doesn't really change what you can or cannot do in these districts. It does have some change in process. But actually, the gentleman from DCR testified at the planning board's hearing.
Tony, is the overlay the same as existing? The reason I ask is flood insurance can be staggering, as you know. And are we going to be taking people out of the flood insurance requirement or putting people into it unbeknownst to them?
This doesn't change any of that.
Oh, great.
Okay. So it's more changing the administration of it than changing either the mapping or the zoning itself.
Yeah, process wise, I think we had some things were, I think in our bylaw it talked about special permit, where the new model bylaw talks about variance. So we had to make those changes. We had to write out who the floodplain administrator is for the town of Nahant in the bylaw. There is a summary that I thought I sent you guys a while back. I could resend it to you. But essentially, if we don't make these changes, we aren't compliant with the National Flood Insurance Program, and then we're jeopardizing Nahant residents' ability to be part of that program. So we kind of don't have a choice. But it's pretty straightforward, and I think that the planning board's recommendation is going to have a lot of details about this article and why it's necessary and what it does.
But there's no spending involved with it. So I
No.
think almost approve this right now. I vote to approve.
I'll second it.
I actually would suggest that we don't approve it until we get the recommendation from the planning
Agreed.
board.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
All right. Alternatively, or maybe in addition, I could ask Rob if he could join us for a few minutes on Tuesday.
Well, I would love to, I would love to see the thing in writing, because we are going to be busy Tuesday, but also since I'm the one who's going to be writing the amplified
Yeah,
statement.
I mean, at minimum, we should see their recommendation. But whether we want to discuss it with them in person,
I feel that Tony has given us a pretty good idea of what is in it personally.
okay. Yeah, and Rob generally does a good job if he's the author of it, which I suspect he is. The author of their recommendation, rather.
Mm.
All right, so this one we're going to hold pending getting the written
Right.
recommendation from the planning board. So we can take, we said that one was recommended. We skipped all of Article 20. We voted this one and this one and this one, and that's the one we're skipping. Stormwater improvements, Peter, you were spot on that one. So this was like, I guess the next step in all the stormwater, especially, I don't know what's it called down there. Is that the lowlands?
This article is more general. It is not specifically for the lowlands. You'll see that the article below it, which was a citizen's petition, is specific for the lowlands. We've done a lot of work for the lowlands. We're continuing to do work. And this Article 25 doesn't necessarily eliminate the ability to spend some of this funds on continued work in the lowlands. But we have stormwater issues in Bass Point, on Willow Road, on White Way, at the bottom of Summer Street. And so we have a lot of work to do in town, and this Article 25 would allow us to, look at those stormwater issues in those other parts of town as well. So it's a more general stormwater approach than the efforts that the town has done in the past and what this article, the citizens petition, attempts to do.
Okay. And have you been in touch with the citizens petitioners?
No, not specifically related to this citizens petition. But we just contracted the new stormwater work that's happening in the lowlands, and so we're supposed to be having a neighborhood meeting. We were supposed to do it last week, but things have just gotten postponed. The author of this citizens petition, did not approach me prior to submitting it. There was no communication with the town prior to submitting this citizens petition.
Okay.
So I wouldn't consider it in line with the town's efforts. It does reflect some of the alternatives that were suggested by the study. For example, alternative 2 listed in the citizens petition is the work that we just contracted. So it's already being built under the previously authorized funding. So it's not even really, had we discussed this article before, you wouldn't even, I would have suggested not to even include that in this article. So we're going to be opposing Article 26. I'll get right back to you guys.
All right. So while Tony's gone here,
Is there any reason we can't move to approve 25 at this point?
no, we should.
Yeah, let's do, so moved. Let's do it.
Okay. Moved. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, Barbara,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Deborah.
Aye.
Bob votes aye, unanimous vote in favor. So back to Article 26.
Move to reject.
I thought it was removed. Wasn't it removed from the whole, the recent warrant? The most latest?
No,
No, okay.
not yet. It might be, but I don't think they have.
It would have, the removal would have to come from the petitioners.
Right.
Hmm.
Not that I mean, it certainly could.
Question of policy, do we normally invite any petitioner of a warrant article to present to us, or is that not normal procedure?
Yes, and in prior years, there have been similar articles relating to lowlands drainage, and we've had the petitioner or a representative of the petitioners come and speak.
And who's responsible for this article?
Good question. Dan, you're lucky man.
Yes. Good. Just an easy one.
There you go. So, Dan, you made a motion that was not seconded. So is there a second to Dan's motion that we not
Yep.
recommend? Okay, so for now, well, not for now. So that motion fails for lack of a second.
I don't know how procedurally this works, but I agree with Tim. If we can invite this person in to present, I would be open to that.
Well, it's
Yeah,
either or kind of deal. We've already approved 24. 25 is competing with 24. It's left or right, one or the other. We've approved one. And to be quite clear that half of the improvements they're asking for in 25 in the citizens petition are already underway and those contracts have been awarded. So I suspect very much that the petitioners are fixing to remove this thing. And in the meantime, I don't know that we need to devote a lot of effort to it.
I
was voted up on 25 or 24 rather.
No, it's 25 and 26.
Okay, 26 we can vote down. 25 we've already approved.
I agree.
I was under the impression from Tony that 25 is specifically not dedicated to lowlands.
That's correct.
it's
So
everything.
therefore, 25 and 26, I don't see them as completely at odds with each other. I see that one of the components of 26 is already underway, and so that piece of it's probably, moot. But I don't know about the rest of 26.
And then, Dan, why are you so confident that this citizen will remove this or are in the process of removing that? And Allison or Tony, how do we even check if it's in the process of being removed?
Well, it's specific to the lowlands, and the lowlands are already enjoying a massive amount of spending. Corrected,
but
and it's been awarded. So they're
this is
petitioning.
in addition to that, though. This is more work.
I think it's both. A portion of this, I think it's this alternative too, but I'm not certain, is underway.
Didn't Tony tell us that they had spoken, or am I thinking about the thing the other year? That they had, the citizen had agreed not to go forward with this.
I think that was last year's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't
that
he
was
just
good.
say that he hadn't spoken with them yet?
Correct.
Or, yeah,
Correct.
Well, we should ask him when he gets back, I guess.
I mean, it's clear that the town is not in favor of it. or the town administration is not in favor of it. That's clear.
Yeah.
Well, it's a fairness issue as well as we look at where to spend this money. There's Willow Road, Spinney Path and Bass Point Road are a massive lake with the slightest rain. So I think that the folks in the lowland have gotten their fair share.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for that, Dan, because you just picked my neighborhood. I appreciate you saying that I need my fair share.
Well, I'm your neighbor, Melanie. I'm right at the intersection of Bass Point and Spinney.
And I appreciate the reference to Willow. We've got a lake out here right now.
Exactly.
Well, be that as it may,
My concern is
neither of
not-
those two neighborhoods have a citizen's petition in there to address their particular issues.
Right, my concern is that we do have a tradition, as Tim said, and as Bob, as you agreed, of letting people, talking to people who put in a citizen's petition, having them talk to us. And we haven't done that here. So I don't know whether or not this means, whether it's a change in tradition, whether that's just informal. I'm uncertain about that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wouldn't be opposed to inviting them to speak with us.
I wouldn't either.
I'm not, I'll be quiet about that.
I would like to see what Tony says about the person's current stance on this, whether he or she has mentioned withdrawing it. You know,
I agree, Deborah, we should find out what Tony
Yeah.
knows more about it first.
if it's still
probably.
active, then I think it would be helpful to have the person come in.
Right.
All right, so let's skip over this one until Tony rejoins us. Article 27 is a routine article every year. And there was unroutine in one year when somebody discovered a new committee that it was never continued, which might have been Peter. Is there a motion on Article 27?
I'll
I
move
will
to
make them. Oh, go ahead. I will second that.
Great. So all in favor, Barbara,
Aye.
Dan,
aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Melanie,
I,
Jim,
Aye.
Deborah.
Aye.
So that would be twice. Bob, aye. Unanimous vote in favor. I don't know what Tony is up to here. He's getting pulled both ways. He's staring at a different monitor. So I guess we wait. So what else in the meantime?
We want to approve minutes?
Yeah, I was gonna do, can we approve minutes from last week?
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
I
I
move that
move-
we have,
Okay.
go ahead. I second.
move, okay, I move that we approve the minutes from last week.
All right, all in favor, Barbara?
Aye.
Was that seconded?
Yes, it was
Tim seconded.
pre-seconded.
Yeah.
Okay, Barbara,
Aye.
Ann,
Aye.
Joy,
Sorry, aye.
okay, Peter,
Aye.
Melanie,
I,
Jim,
Aye.
Deborah. Yes.
I'm back. If you get, are you
Oh.
guys on this Article
Yeah.
26
Hang-
now?
hang- we have to have Deborah say aye or nay, and I don't know, have we lost her?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
there we go.
Sorry, I guess, yeah, aye.
Okay, and Bob votes aye, unanimous vote in favor, minutes are approved. Tony, we are discussing Article 26, which is the citizens petition. this is a nit and not what we wanted to talk to you about, but there is a typo right in the beginning, right there.
Our tile.
Yeah. Um, I think there seems to be a growing consensus that we'd like to speak to the proponent of that article. Well, two things. We'd like to speak to the proponent of that article, and have you spoken to the proponents of this article?
Like I said, that the proponents of this article did not approach the town before submitting it, which has become an annual practice and has led to, this confusion year after year. Even though every year we've talked to the proponents and said, if you had spoke to us beforehand, we could have worked with you on the language to make it, to bring it to a point where the town could be supportive. Instead, we've had to put our own article in, support ours, and ask them to then withdraw theirs. And here we are again this year.
Yep.
This article has zero. The $800,000, I have no idea where that number came from. Du Bois and King study, alternative one, which is the 18-inch outfall restoration by constructing permanent fixed pumps at the juncture of Castle Road and Fox Hill Road to direct stormwater to Lynn Harbor. That alternative is extremely complicated and possibly not feasible, not permittable. Also, not worth, doesn't pass a benefit cost analysis. So we haven't even, as a town, decided if alternative one is really something that we want to pursue. Alternative two, the stormwater system improvements, is what we are currently, we funded it last year, and we have Grenice under contract. They've started that project this month, so they're under contract. That alternative two is happening now. Lowland stormwater system improvements, including the addition of storm drains, water catchment areas, is what Grenice is doing now. Curbing in the lowlands is an idea that was created by the petitioner. It has zero, there's no evidence that it would help in any way. And the town hasn't really opposed, doing it. And we can use Chapter 90 and the other transportation funds in order to add curbing in certain areas. We don't need a separate article for that effort. But we also, it is not something that was included in the study. It is something that a resident is suggesting would help without any engineering background at all.
Are these truly, usually the word alternative means they are mutually exclusive. Are these two mutually exclusive?
What do you mean by that? Like they would have the same
alternative means, pick one or the other, but not both.
No, there was multiple alternatives that were explored as ways to help with the stormwater issues in the lowlands by Du Bois and King. And they were evaluated based on a number of different factors. They're not mutually exclusive.
Okay.
So I guess my opposition to this article is not opposition to improving the stormwater issue in the lowlands.
Right.
It's opposition to this article, specifically how it's written and the elements behind, of it are issues for us.
Yeah, I mean, mechanically, the way this is written is So that would have to be fixed.
We're about to spend over, let's see, $540,000 on stormwater improvements in that area. Plus previously, I think we've spent over $250,000 in different, studies and purchase of other types of equipment and things of that nature. It's not like we haven't been doing a lot for this neighborhood. And meanwhile, there are other neighborhoods that are suffering significantly worse stormwater issues because we've made so much progress in the lowlands. So that's why we're, there may be more work to be done in the lowlands. We're not, putting it on the shelf, but Article 25 is more general, and it allows us to, not only continue progress there, but also expand to other parts of town.
All right, so committee, what is your pleasure? Should we invite a representative of the petitioners to speak with us about this? Or should we try a motion and again now to vote this up or down?
Let's try an up or down vote and see where people are trending, assuming people voted down or voted they're interested in hearing from the proponents. But my view is 800,000 without a lot of specifics is irresponsible. And the folks in the lowlands have enjoyed all the dough that Tony just outlined. And I can launch a canoe off down Melanie's street. Melanie and I are suffering here.
Well, then we need such a motion.
I move we reject this article.
All right, motion. Is there a second?
I second.
There's a second. All right, so is
Sorry,
there?
I was on mute for a second. I just wanted to mention, Dan, I know the town's against it. In all honesty, I will most likely vote against it. I'm just concerned about not hearing from the citizens. But at the same time, if we know we're going to vote no, then why let them talk to us?
Exactly. That's my feeling. We kind of know where we're going to vote on this thing. And it's almost mutually exclusive, the 25, not exactly, but time is of the essence. I don't think anyone here is looking forward to double meetings next week. I know I'm not. And as long as we put in decisions that are already made, and we pretend that we're actually going to listen to them, I don't think it's fair to them. I said, hey, read Article 25. You already got your gravy boat. You're getting more coming, but you're not the only neighborhood in town.
Yeah, I have a newbie question. So are we saying rejected means we're going to say we do not recommend this article, or is rejecting mean that someone will actually remove it from the book?
No,
No.
do not recommend.
Do
We would not recommend.
All right.
Yeah, it's just what appears in that finance committee booklet.
And
What-
Tim, I'm with you on this. I'm probably going to vote, to not recommend. But the idea of not letting citizens come talk. But what Tony made a very good point, which is that they have made no attempt to contact the town. And I think the last article, a year or two ago, they did. And so there was a lot of collaborative discussion. And here there's been none.
Exactly, Barbara. And whenever we've had these citizens petitions, the proponents have spoken to us at their initiative. We haven't had to chase them down and say, hey, please come to our meeting.
Exactly.
Where does our responsibility lie? Like, is that part of our job is to listen to each one, or is it within our realm of responsibility to not recommend it right from the start?
Well, stewardship of town resources, especially $800,000, falls squarely on us.
I
And I
get
feel
it.
confident in saying 800 is too high, go home.
Okay.
Yeah, and we really have a lot of latitude if, if we think we have enough facts here to come to a recommendation, whatever way it would happen to go, that's fine. If we think that speaking to the proponents of this is necessary or helpful, we can do that too.
If it helps, my parents live on Ward Road. My sister lives on Ward Road. Her in-laws live on Fox Hill Road. So again, it's not about opposition to the efforts that we're making there, because I'd get crucified by my but it's more so just about the fact that there are some residents in this neighborhood that don't really want to follow the engineering advice, and there's a different element of desire for what the town should pursue. We are following the engineering advice. We have been doing so with all the spending that we've been very careful about how we're spending our dollars, and it's been extremely effective. That neighborhood hasn't experienced significant flooding since the May 2018 storm. So they're not, and we're not putting them on the shelf. It's just that this article doesn't consider what's currently occurring, and it adds in desires that are not really supported by engineering
or the laws of physics.
I don't see the proponent withdrawing it. And I think we're just gonna have to make a case. The case that I'm making to you, I'm probably gonna have to make on town meeting floor. And again, the data, the numbers I talked about, what we've accomplished there, all the money we've spent there, and where these other areas that we are trying to look at, I can provide to you guys, so you can include it in your if you want to, in your supporting statement or something. Or I could write a supporting statement, that can be added underneath these.
We can also vote no recommendation, neither up nor down, and then you can speak at town meeting and make it clear, especially on the engineering side, as we get to things that are not actually possible.
Right, and hopefully Article 25 will have passed.
Yes.
And so I can, at that point I could stand up and say, the article that just passed doesn't preclude us from spending some of that money on ongoing efforts in the lowlands, but it also allows us to spend money in other areas of town. And then we don't think that this article is necessary because of the reasons I just, mentioned to you guys.
But I think we do have a motion on the floor
You-
that we've got to one or the other.
Yeah,
Made and seconded, and it is to not recommend. So it's this is really hard to say. It's not no recommendation. It is to not recommend.
and Mr. Chair, you set the agenda, and I'm planning on voting not recommend. But I would hope that if the proponents of this do reach out to you, that we would allow them to come in and
Yes,
potentially
absolutely.
consider.
Absolutely. And actually, that is my only hesitation in this, is just kind of the optics on town meeting floor if they stand up and say, well, nobody spoke to us.
Oh, we could invite them.
We could invite them, but as Dan said, I can't imagine what they might say that would. Anyway, there's a motion that's been made and seconded on the floor. Is there more discussion? If not, here we go. So an I vote will be means to not recommend this article. But a no vote does not necessarily mean we are going to recommend this article. I know that sounds like double speak, but was that clear?
Yes.
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 All right, Barbara,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Joy,
I'm gonna abstain because I haven't made a decision.
okay, Peter,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Deborah.
We're voting not recommend. Is that?
You're correct. And I
Aye.
vote means to not recommend.
Aye.
Bob votes aye. So, well, it's unanimous for everyone that voted. Joy abstained. And that is it for tonight,
All right.
right?
Oh,
So, I never really asked the question, is everyone okay with a Tuesday meeting of next week?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Aye.
I'll do my best to attend, but Tuesdays are quite difficult for me.
okay, thank you. And then in the meantime, for all of these that we have voted, if you want to start putting pen to paper or fingers to electrons or something, go for it.
And this is in our box folder, Bob?
It will be.
Okay.
And Allison sent a copy of last year's, I think, the book to us so that some of it is repetitive from previous years.
Yes.
But
But
if-
my ambulance article is on this one.
Oh, you're right. That one you're not going to find in the book.
And if you read last year's and you say, well, I don't get it, feel free to clean it up or rewrite it as you see fit. A lot of times, especially for someone that's new to it, that's the best set of eyes you could give to it. Okay. I don't think there is anyone other than us left, so there's no public forum to be had. So a motion to adjourn is in order.
So
I move
moved.
to adjourn.
All right, all in favor, Barbara,
Aye.
yeah,
Aye.
Joy,
Aye.
Peter,
aye.
Melanie,
Hi.
Tim,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Bob votes aye. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much. Good discussion. Tuesday will be an interesting meeting.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Good
Good night.
Thanks, Bob.
All right.
Aye.
Good night,
Aye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Aye.
Oh, how do I get out of this?
I know, Barbara, I'm stuck too.
How do I get out of it?
Why is it not letting us out?